You know what I realized recently? Most people think they are selling their skills. They are not. They're actually selling the most important thing that they will never get back, which is time. Think about it. Every morning you wake up, you go to work, you trade 8, 9, 10, 12, sometimes even more hours of your own life for money that completely stops the moment you stop showing up at work. The scary part isn't the paycheck and how little it is. The scary part is one day you will wake up and you will realize that you don't own anything from what you have been working for. Instead of working for something that will pay you back at some point, you actually just wasting or like trading your time for something it is never going to pay you back. The trap we don't even notice that we accepted something. It made sense 100 years ago. Go to work, spend 40 hours of your life every single week, get paid, repeat until retirement. That made sense when factories needed people to stand by machines all day long. But today, one person with a laptop can build something that reaches million people. The world changed. Most jobs didn't, really. To be honest, having a job is not a problem. I'm not against people having jobs. I always say that you don't need to stay at work, or you don't need to have a job. You can have an income, but the problem is not the job. The problem is that believing that having a job is the only way to make money. Believing that you don't have a choice, that's the problem. Here is something that actually changed a little bit of my way of thinking about work. My boss or your boss, well, my ex-boss and my thing, but your boss isn't actually paying you for your skills. He isn't paying you actually for how talented you are. They are paying you for your time. You trade in your time for the job that you're getting done. Imagine one day you become much more talented. You become twice as fast. You become twice as experienced. Will your salary suddenly change or increase? Probably not. Business will start earning more. Because here is the difference. Employees get paid for showing up. When you go to work, that's you start getting paid. It doesn't matter if you are going to get the job or not, if someone is looking or not. As long as you show up, you are going to get paid. But like business owners or employers, they get paid for adding value, which means they using you to add value for someone else. So they're using your time to add value, and they get more money for it. But for you, even if you work twice as hard, even if you do more than anyone else there, the odds for you to get more money the next day or the next month or the next year is very, very low. So again, your boss is not paying you for how talented you are or for the experience you have got. They are paying you for the time that you are spending at work, because technology actually changed the rules. This is why I believe nowadays it's the best time in all history and probably in the future, because if you are not in it now, it will take you much longer later to kind of get to this point. But one person can actually create a video here. One person can build a software. One person can sell a product, write a book, teach a skill, create digital products, use AI to speed anything up. 20 years ago, you needed a company to do all of that. You needed a full company dedicated to do any of these stuff. But nowadays, one person, it doesn't matter what age you are, you can do that. You can do all of these stuff. I know these things, people know them, but to actually stop and think about it, today, all you need is a laptop and consistency, okay? Technology is not replacing everyone's job. The AI is not going to replace everyone's job, but it is giving like people, it's giving people who actually want it a leverage in life. Like the question is, are you going to be like Are you going to be using it for these stuff, or are you just going to use it for entertainment? Because everyone, most people, 90% of people, well, 95% of people probably going to use it for entertainment. But it's your chance to actually use it for something else, to actually build something else with it. Build something actually, I said this in my previous video, that build something that actually pays you when you are asleep. This is where everything changes, okay? Imagine you doing something once and you're getting paid for it hundreds of times, thousands of times, maybe even millions of times. This is what a business is. Business that actually creates this for you. That's what YouTube does, by the way. That's what books do. You sell one, like you write one book, you sell it hundreds, thousands, millions of times. That's what books are. You can build courses, you can build applications, you can build softwares, templates, investments. All of these can pay you hundreds, thousands, millions of times. I understand when you are first starting, this sounds so outraged, so out there. You don't know what to do with all this information, but you just need to start. You just need to start and see how it works out for you. You don't need to think of the 100 times and the thousands of times, the millions of times. You just need to think of the 1, the 5, the 10 times, the first ones. This is what you need to think of. You don't need to think about how am I going to get to that point. You just need to think of one person that you can sell to, then 2 people, then 5 people, then 10 people, and suddenly it became 100 people. Don't think of it as it is so far you can get to it. Simplify it and get to it as quick as possible. Try to make it simpler for you. Try to make it work for you instead of work for it, And any of these things that I just said, none of them is perfect, but every single one of them have got something that my previous salary or your salary does not have. It will keep paying you even if you stop. Even if you stop doing, even if you stop writing another book, even if you stop building another application, even if you stop investing, all of these will keep paying you. I don't think everyone should kind of chase the passive income. I think everyone should chase like the ownership. If you own something, will always keep paying you. As long as you are dedicated to it, as long as you give it enough time, as long as you work it hard for it and you start selling it and you actually build it as a business, it will always keep paying you. I used to think freedom is about money, okay? I said this on one of my videos that I don't care as much anymore, but I have good freedom in my hat here. But I don't think freedom means buying expensive stuff anymore. I really don't. I just think freedom is waking up in the morning and actually decide and do what you want to do on the day. Freedom is not having a boss to call you every single morning or every single day asking you about stuff. I don't think freedom that you should be like checking your phone every single minute. I think freedom should be you have good options. The more options you have got, the more freer you are. I believe that this is a freedom for me. I don't know what the freedom is for you, but freedom for me is how to spend more time with my family, is how to go for more vacation, is how to get what I want to get whenever I want to get. It doesn't mean it has to be an expensive stuff. This is what freedom to me. Freedom is building something that is actually good for me, it's actually helping me. That's what I think. Money, I don't have much of it, but money, I think of it is as a tool. It will make more, it will create more options for you. That's true. I'm not saying that money is not good. I'm saying that you don't have to have lots of it to actually be free. I don't think it is something that you should actually work towards. You should work towards your ownership of things. You should work towards having more like freedom in choosing what you want to do, the choice that you are going to have, like to wake up in the morning and do whenever you want to do. You want to sleep a little bit longer, sleep a little bit longer. You want to go to the gym at 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning, go to the gym. You want to go to the gym in the middle of the day, you go to the gym in the middle of the day. You want to go on holiday whenever you want to go, you can go for a holiday. This is freedom for me. It's not freedom that you go and buy an expensive car or expensive shoes or an expensive clothes or go on expensive holidays. No, the freedom is to have the choice to actually do stuff. This is what freedom for me, but I don't know what's freedom for everyone else. It's just me that I'm talking about. But you have to figure out what's your freedom, what freedom actually means for you. I'm not against jobs. I worked in jobs most of my life. I talked about this since I was 13 and 14 years old. Some of them taught me lessons that I will use forever, to be honest. But I also realized something, that a job should actually fund your future, should teach you something, not become actually your future. It should be something that you learn from and then go create your own thing. That's why you need to actually learn as much as possible, save some money, build your skills, and then slowly build something that belongs to you. Because one day, your salary can stop, your boss can replace you, technology can replace you. Anything of these can actually happen. But the thing is, no one can replace something that you own. No one can replace like something that you created by yourself. No one can replace your creation. So I don't ask how much more can I earn or how can I earn more money. Ask how can I build something that belongs to me and will earn me money without me being there every single minute of the day. I think that's the difference between having a living or making a living and building an actual life. Because if you are going to build something, you want it to stay with you the longest possible. But with a job, you really don't know how long it's going to last. You really don't know if it is going to last or not. So it is not in your hand, but something that you create, something that you build, something that you started. It is always going to be yours. You're going to own that. You're going to have that forever, until you decide if you want to sell it or not. But yeah, so I just wanted to put this video because I talked about this before, but I want more and more people to realize these things. I want more and more people to actually understand there is other things that they can do, or at least push people's mind a little bit, push people's kind of thinking a little bit, instead of even if you are not sure yet, hopefully this video helps you a little bit. Okay, but other than that, thank you very much for watching the video, and I will see you in the next one. Have a good day.